Good day, guys. Recently I had a huge stick go up into my derailleur and wheel on my e-bike, and it sort of damaged my GX AXS derailleur. So today I'm just going to see if I can fix it. Alright, so this is a new GX AXS derailleur. So the stick went up in between here, and it looks like it bent the cage. It pushed the hanger back a little bit and it bent a couple of spokes. So I took it straight to the bike shop and just said, fix it up. So they just basically said the derailleur was bent and damaged, and they put a new derailleur on it, you know, align that, fix the spokes up, and she's all good to go. But they obviously gave me my old derailleur back. So I've got the old one, and I'm just gonna see if I can figure out what's wrong with it and maybe fix it. So the main issue that I found with this when I first looked at it was, I don't know if you can see that pivot pin there on the parallelogram, but there's nothing holding it in. So I managed to push it back in place on the trail. Obviously it wasn't shifting great and I got it home. But I was having a look when the bike was at the shop, I was having a look online to see if people repaired them. And it does seem that there's a company with a repair kit for the parallelogram, but you do have to, I think you've got to drill out the original ones and replace it all. But when I was looking at that kit, I noticed that that pivot doesn't use the circlips like the others. It actually just has a bolt in it. And then when I got the new one on the Canevo put on, I noticed, yeah, for sure, there's a screw holding it in. So I thought, cool, I'll just have to extract the screw out of it and put a new one in. And then when I took it to have a look at it, it turns out there is nothing in there because it must have fallen out. So I've found a screw that's the right thread. It's a M4, I think it's M4 or M3. Actually can't remember. I've cut that down to put in there, and that seems to line it all up. So I'm just going to put it on the bike and see how it goes. So I'll be putting the old one on the Spectral. So that means I just got to take the running gear off the Canevo, and then I'll probably just put new running gear on that one with the new derailleur. So that means chain cassette going over to the Spectral. So initially I thought the derailleur cage on the old one was bent as well, but I'm just holding it up with the brand newie. To be honest, I don't know, doesn't look too bad. So we might be in luck. This might get us back on the road. I just want to check the alignment of the hanger before I go any further, which isn't going to be that easy because this wheel has copped a hiding, this back wheel, and it's not exactly true at the moment. So we'll just have to go on averages, I think, if I spin it. That's pretty close anyway. Yeah. Don't think that needs any adjustment. Cool. Alright, so it looks like the B screw is a mile out at the moment, so that's the first thing I've got to do. Alright, so I've got it all hooked up, synced up, and it's not shifting properly at all. It seems like everything's lined up, and it just seems like the shifter itself is just struggling to make shifts. So I think it might be to do with where I've put this bolt in. There's quite a few little pivots here, and it seems like this thing here is struggling to move. So hopefully if I can sort this out, it'll come good. Otherwise it's dead. Okay. So I've actually figured out what's wrong with it. So this has worked. That's all good. It's actually the spring's come off. So the spring is supposed to fit into this little groove here. So as you can see on the other one, the spring must have come off as well. So the spring sits in this groove here. Hopefully you can see that. So on, if you look through here, you can see the spring's wrapped around that way. If you look on this other one, you can see the spring's up here. So the spring has popped out of this, and that's why it's struggling to shift, because it doesn't have proper spring tension under it. And that's going to be really difficult to fix, but it should be fixable. It's just going to be tricky. So I'll see how I go with it. I'll take the battery out while I'm doing this. Kind of close, but I can't go any further from here. Yeah, gotta get it get it from there across. I need another pair of hands, that's what I need. Might be a job for the lounge. Right, so get it like that. And then I put a hook under it. Oh! Shit, I think that's in. I think it's in. Doesn't look, I think it's bent, but it's in. So maybe I'll just run it up and down a few times and it might be alright. So yeah, so you can see the spring's supposed to be in that groove there, but the spring looks like it's actually, yeah, it's probably bent a bit when it popped out. So hopefully it can stay in there or settle in, or maybe I can force it to straighten up a bit. Like that, like it just clicked in a bit. Yeah, so just clicked in then. So that looks better. That looks like it's actually in the groove. All right. Whew. We're getting somewhere. Let's see how we go. Better than it was. All right, let's chuck it back on and see what happens. All right. So we nearly got there, very close, but I'm pretty sure the cage is out of alignment and it's not letting me get all the gear. So it's almost fixed, but it's not fixed. I'll see if we can sort it out still. All right, so I've got the new one here and the old one here, and it's going to be really hard to see, but I feel like this is slightly bent out that way, just a tiny bit. So I'm going to take it off and see if I can straighten it. Alright, so I've given it a little bend in the vise. It looks a little bit better. So I'll chuck it on and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so it's actually back on the Canevo now. So I've just installed it and synced it, and I've just got to do a little bit of tuning with it because it's not quite right, but I might be able to get there. All right, I think we might have done it. I might have saved it. So far it's shifting pretty good. That's every gear. So all I need to do now is charge that all the way up because it's almost flat. Clean all the sticky shit off the chain, re-lube it, take it for a test drive. Sweet. All right. I'm going to claim victory. This thing's shifting really nice. So yeah, I've just saved myself about 650 bucks. So I'm pretty happy with that. Derailleur lives for another ride. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.